Everybody, welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Brzezinski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. Welcome to the end of week 2. That's correct. Made it to the end of week 2, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the assignments or anything, let me know. I'll be happy to respond to you. Just to give everybody a heads up, I'm a little behind on the grades a little bit. That's due to me getting a little bit sick over the week, and also want to make sure everybody gets their first weeks in. I should have everything done by Sunday, so if you haven't seen a grade yet, you should see it by Sunday, so my apologies for that. A lot of people messaged me and said it's just kind of, I'm always kind of a little lenient on the first week, so I kind of wait the first week before I kind of get to make sure everything's good. I'll start giving feedback out by the end of tonight and tomorrow, so if you don't see anything by then, just let me know, and we'll go from there. So my apologies for that. Everything should be caught up by Monday morning. That way I can get on week 2's grades, and that'll be good. But just to let everybody catch up, I wanted to give a little extra days and stuff, so just to make sure. So, and also I kind of ran into some cold stuff. Allergies have been rough. But other than that, just to give everybody a heads up, just let everybody know your discussion posts are due, your reply posts are due tonight. Live lectures and assignments are due tomorrow, so just give a heads up there. Please take a look at the live lecture. It's posted on the announcements. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Other than that, let's get into it. So, responses and stimuli. So we're going to talk about this a little bit today for this afternoon. Just give everybody a heads up on some concepts for it and how they kind of apply to it. We're going to have a little bit of some emotional responses that kind of tie to this. That way you understand how mood setting, colors, and lighting can affect perception in a way. A lot of response types kind of work with each other. Such as like perception, emotion, emotional, ethical, they kind of sensory, they kind of all tie into each other at certain aspects. So we're going to take a look at some concepts that involve responses to stimuli and how visuals are built to deal with these responses specifically. So now it's really interesting that emotion kind of applies into everything. This is more going to be focused on emotional responses, but we're going to take an opening look into this announcement, and we'll go further into detail in week 5 about persuasion and how emotional responses tie into persuasion. But the final element of perception we have to discuss is emotion, because emotion kind of ties into this element, and it has its own response type because emotion is so powerful. And much like culture, emotion plays a large role in shaping our perceptions, because depending on how our moods are and how different areas, we tend to perceive things specifically in these areas. So for example, color affects emotion, but we can expand on this to other visual presence, and there's other emotional perceptions are shaped visually throughout, like lighting, persuasive images, and much more. And we'll go more into detail about this on week 5, but we're just going to take a quick look into some elements of emotion, how they kind of play with everything. For example, when we take a look at emotional responses, and we'll go a little bit more into detail about this week 5, but they're kind of built to trigger some type of emotion and to persuade you into doing something based upon those images and how they're reversed. Much like an animal donation site, they want you to engage a lot of times. They even put the button on those advertisements and everything, and they put a sad dog in front of you just to make you feel bad a lot. If you like are an animal lover and everything, especially bolding the words, will you help them? Your support makes the difference. They tend to do that. Or they can be subtle. Instead of trying to make you engage, they can be subtle, much like the bear in the Toblerone ad. I actually didn't know about this until we got into this advertisement in a little more detail. So, and how the bear kind of plays in the mountains. I even still look at this like logo today, and I'm just like, oh wow, the bear really is in there. And it kind of surprises me about that. So, yeah, it can get a little interesting with that. So you can either engage with it, or there could be subtle tips that kind of trigger these elements. Now, mood setting, colors, and lighting affects our perceptions, especially with how emotions are kind of tied into this. Overall, visual perception is a process of seeing what's influenced by culture and emotion. And who we are as individuals are based upon those experiences and those cognitive memories. And they help shape what we find appealing or not, and how we might respond cognitively. And colors give emotional responses much like sensory responses due to a perceptual experience. Like I said, there's many responses that kind of tie into this, and this element kind of triggers colors, which has sensory elements into it, which also triggers emotions from emotional responses, and they all kind of break into your perceptual opinions and everything. And it's really based upon this. So when you look at these colors, they kind of reflect somebody's moods and how these areas, and they can be built, and the visuals are going to be tied to target those individuals specifically on those emotions or to trigger certain emotions to make you do something. And that's when we'll get a little bit more into persuasive communication and how it ties into emotional responses. But that's going to be focused on week 5. However, mood setting colors and lighting, they play a really crucial role into perception and how things feel with that. But yeah, other than that, it's just a quick intro into emotional responses. We'll get a little bit more into detail in week 5, but how it does play a part in perceptual responses, and that's kind of important for that. Other than that, just a quick intro and everything with emotional. That's pretty much how I wanted to go about this. Next week, we're going to be focusing on semiotics and signs and symbols and really trigger more into those perceptual cultures and how they play a part with communicating with symbols and signs. But other than that, that's all I got. So keep in mind of your due dates. If you have any questions, let me know. Please take a look at the calendars. They'll help you out. But other than that, that's all I got. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Keep an eye out for my grades. They should be there by Monday morning for week 1. If they're not, please let me know. Other than that, thanks for being a little patient with me on week 1. Everything should be caught up by then, and then we should be back to normal on grading for week 2. But other than that, that's all I got. So thanks for being awesome, amazing, wonderful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, appreciate it, and hope to see you all for lecture next week. All right, take it easy. Bye.